I feel the need.
The Need for Speed.
And welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak.
What's up?
Today we are going to be discussing the 1986 movie Top Gun. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this movie from IMDb. It says, as students at the United States Navy Elite Fighter Weapons School compete to be the best class, one daring young pilot learns a few things from a civilian instructor that are not taught in the classroom. That does not describe this movie whatsoever.
Yeah, well, about the instructor in the classrooms, she did teach some things that was not instructed in the classroom.
Very true, very true. But
Too funny.
there was a lot more to this movie.
Oh yeah,
a lot more.
Lot
Basically, this hotshot pilot, Maverick, Tom Cruise's character, gets sent to the Top Gun program. Top Gun is an elite fighter squad group training facility. Everybody in this class is trying to be the Top Gun, which is the number one person, the number one pilot.
And remember, though, he got sent to Top Gun on a formality because the actual first place, well, the top student, kind of spazzed out when he was up in the air in that training simulation.
Right.
So he wasn't the best of the best yet. I know he felt that way.
Right. They were flying. Yeah, it starts out basically with them flying in a MiG. It comes in and freaks out the other pilot, but Tom Cruise actually goes in inverted, right above him, and shoots him a bird.
Yeah, one of the coolest scenes, and I don't know if you can do that in a jet. But
I don't know if you actually can either, but it looked cool.
Who cares?
It looked cool.
It is cool.
It looked cool, yeah.
I don't fly fighter pilots. If we have any fighter pilot or
just a pilot
flying, just a pilot. Fuck it. If we just have any pilots out there, let us know if that's even possible. Yeah. Let us know. Absolutely. I'd love to find out if that's even possible.
But basically, he goes and there's a training accident that happens. Goose, his rear man, basically gets killed in an accident. They fly through a jet wash and they have to eject, and his head hits the canopy and it kills Goose. And Maverick is trying to come back from that loss because as a pilot, you're responsible for that man. You're responsible for everything while you're in the air. So it just plays on your psyche. It plays on your nerves. And he's trying to come back from that. And at the end, he does finish, the Top Gun school program. He does not win. Iceman ends up winning. Val Kilmer's character. And
Spoiler.
And they get sent to an actual mission right away, and they get into a dogfight, and Maverick is still freaked out. Iceman and a couple other fighter pilots are already on scene. Maverick, he leaves the flight deck kind of late because of the way jets have to leave, and by the time he gets in there, they're already in a dogfight, and he has to decide whether he wants to get in this or not. And he ends up getting in and kicking ass. He kicks ass. This whole movie, it is I would say that this is a man's movie. It has fighter pilots, it has motorcycles. It does have a love story in it. But let's face it, you're watching this for the fighting. You're watching this for the fighter jets. That's why I watch it. It's totally enthralling. I totally dug it. Mikey the Freak, how about you? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, the love story is kind of, I'd say, second nature when it comes to this movie. I mean, they understand that they at the beginning, Kelly McGillis and Tom Cruise's characters, they're both they meet up at the bar. He serenades them just to try to pick up as a bet.
Lost that love and feeling.
And that's why we
Whoa,
do
that
podcasts and we work for 40 hours a week. So anyway, yeah, so does not realize who this woman is. They get to the one of the first days of the class.
Training.
One day of training class. And lo and behold, it's the instructor that is, top class certified, but not an actual fighter pilot and that kind of stuff. So
a civilian. She's a civilian.
Civilian, yeah. But with class, I can't remember what they said, but high class, top secret type.
She has classified clearance.
Yeah. So then it's kind of that cat and mouse back and forth on, do you like me? Yes, I like you. No, I like you. And then they end up falling in love with each other towards the end.
It's going to be complicated.
Very complicated. So it comes down like the action is fun when they're fight. I've never been in a fighter pilot. I've been in an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that one of the reasons why this move is so intriguing and involved and it really gets you in there is you want to be there with them. You want to be Maverick's wingman. You want to be able to fly that fighter pilot.
You don't want to be Goose.
No. He didn't leave his wingman. His wingman would have been the other guy.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, you want to be his wingman.
I don't want to be his partner. I don't want. Yeah, it would be wrong and issues. But it's one of those fun things, and you want to go fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got the need for speed. That's one of the biggest lines through the entire movie.
It really is.
And there's a lot more out there. I can't quote them all, but it's
take me to bed or lose me forever.
yeah. And Meg Ryan, she has a very, very small role in this movie, but that's one of the memorable quotes from the movie as well. But yeah, you don't want to be up there with them. You want to, fly fast. You want to do those maneuvers and zip around. I enjoy roller coasters, so it's almost like if you're on a roller coaster, how fast you'd be able to go, and you spin and flip and you do all that kind of stuff. So that's a big reason why this movie is so intriguing, I think, and how popular it was in the 80s. It became one of the number one movies of 86. But it's the acting and the celebrities, the amount of A+ actors that were in this movie is phenomenal. And I think because they meshed so well together, and it kind of why it made this movie. And then you had the good versus evil with Maverick and Val Kilmer Iceman with their characters, and one was always a hot shot and reckless, which was Maverick, and the other one, Iceman, he was cool, calm, collected. He knew what he needed to do.
Polar opposites. They were completely polar opposites.
Absolutely. And it kind of foreshadows it. With with the way they act together in that one of those first scenes they meet each other.
Yeah.
So and then at the end they become friends.
Yeah. Can we talk about the soundtrack for a minute?
Oh my God!
Very beginning.
What an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah. The very opening of this movie. It starts out kind of slow. It has the dong type deal, and then as soon as the jet kicks in,
build
highway to the danger zone. I mean, great soundtrack.
One of the best soundtracks of the 80s, by far, hands down. Number one hits. Berlin is. I think it was a one-hit wonder with Berlin. I know that. My mind went blank. I'm sorry. Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins.
Yeah, he definitely was not a one-hit wonder.
No.
He was a very popular singer-songwriter of the 80s. But Berlin, I think that is the only song that they had.
It was
in it. So.
It was a single. I mean, a one-hit wonder.
Yes.
I mean, you had Kenny Loggins' "Highway to the Danger Zone." We sung, "You've Lost That Love and Feeling." You had some
"Take My Breath Away" is the one by Berlin, but
"Take My Breath Away." Oh my God, great soundtrack. Then you had Jerry Lewis, "You Shake My World and You Rattle My Brain." Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, where they're playing on the piano.
Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, I mean, super good soundtrack. Super good.
Very fun at the beginning movie.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into my rating for this.
Yeah,
dude, straight up 9. I'm giving this a 9. I love this movie. I love the fighter jets. I love, you know what, even the love story, because it's not a huge part and there is that give and take in it. You had the death of Goose. You have, the play with Val Kilmer's character. Even with them playing volleyball, even with that one dude who does the like muscle pose while they're playing volleyball, which is totally out of place and weird.
He's just like, yeah,
but it's not a. It was more of a like a muscle pose. It's weird. It was weird. It
seemed out of place. It definitely seemed out of place.
Yeah, but that's the only thing that took me out of the moment in this whole movie was that one pose, and it could just be a character trait of that guy. So, but yeah, it's one of those movies, man. Like I said, motorcycles, fighter jets, and an asshole type character. So this is this is a plus for me, man. 9 all the way around. It was shot well. The soundtrack, everything. How about you?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think a 9 is solid. The soundtrack is a full point increase for me. I was going to give it an 8, but with all the songs that they sang plus the actual soundtrack itself, I know I own the soundtrack and I would listen to it, I'd say constantly, but almost every single day. It was always something that was fun. It was exciting to listen to. Kind of got you in the mood. It had the love song with "Take My Breath Away," "Highway to the Danger Zone," which was Kenny Loggins. So it's fun, exciting. The cast of A+ actors, is impeccable for the 80s. A lot of those actors did more later on. However, some of them were in their prime. Tom Cruise was young, but yet he still was becoming that go-to Hollywood actor from Risky Business or so forth.
It even had Principal Strickland in it.
Yeah, it did. It had James Tolkien in it, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So it's one of those to where you could watch it just to watch those actors, because I know everyone's seen movies in any of those actors, and I'm sure they have favorite ones from those. But it's solid 9 all the way around. Yeah, you're right. Fighter pilots, the jets going fast, the motorcycle. It's always fun. I love the movie.
And super quotable. Super quotable. I mean, I use this line all the time. Somebody will say something, and if it's a no, the negative Ghost Rider, the pattern's full.
Negative Ghost Rider, pattern's full. Yep.
I use that all the time. So yeah, 9. Absolutely, yeah. 9 sounds good. Mikey, do we have any movie trivia?
Yeah, I've got a couple things. One thing I wanted to point out, you have to go back and watch the movie. There's a scene to where Tom Cruise is first leaving the house after dinners, where she first invited him over. They got to talking, and then he leaves on his motorcycle because he's like, he kind of pushes her away at first.
He needed a shower. He needed a shower. He just got through playing volleyball.
Yeah, it's not like he wasn't going to get messy.
Yeah.
And boy, I'm sure it would be messy. But he gets on his bicycle and he starts to drive away, and you notice a for rent sign. It's a sunset type scene, and there's a for rent sign right there in the front yard. Well, later on in the movie, when he quits the academy or quits Top Gun and wants to come back, and he goes and tries to find her again. Well, he goes to the house, and they show the first scene when he drives up. There's a big for rent sign there. And then he gets on his bike. He looks at the for rent sign, and he's upset.
Yeah, because she took a position in Washington. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, well, why the hell is he upset? Because there was a for rent sign there earlier, so he should know that. But apparently the for rent sign was not supposed to be there at that time, because that same exact scene when he's driving away is the same sunset. It is just a farther panned out scene for him driving away the motorcycle. So check that out if you can find that to spot that. But they did say it was a very expensive movie to make. It cost about $7,800 an hour every time that they had to fuel up the jets and use them when they weren't filming scenes, which was it was crazy as shit.
Can you imagine the inflation on that today?
Holy shit! Imagine what jet fuel is now.
You gotta figure gas prices was under $1 at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's probably about $15,000 to $20,000. And then they also said that the director wrote a check for $25,000 to move the aircraft carrier to have it move when they filmed it, to shoot it for an extra 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's unbelievable.
5 minutes for $25,000? You sign me up.
I know, right? Pay me that salary. Shit.
I'll make an OnlyFans for that.
I know, right? Give me 10 minutes. I'm good. I don't give a shit. They also saw, which anybody could see this, Ray-Ban sales increased due to the movie because everyone wore the aviators.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people still wear aviators now.
They're cool looking sunglasses.
Exactly, really, yeah. And they weren't as popular then. And then when this movie came out and everybody wore them, they're like, I want to be like Maverick. I want to look just like Iceman. So sales increased for that style brand for Ray-Ban. And then now it's funny. The last thing I have is that the students of Top Gun, the actual students of the actual
Top Gun program.
Of the actual program, there you go. Of the actual program itself, are actually fined $5 every time they quote the movie.
After the need for speed pay up.
$5. That's $5. Give me $5.
Oh my gosh! I was up in that jet and it took my breath away. $5.
That's $5. Took my breath away. That's it. You quoted the song. That's it. So I thought it was strange, peculiar, but I can kind of understand because if you're in the program, you're not in there to quote the movie. Yeah. You're in there to focus, train.
The instructors are probably sick of hearing that crap.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. That's funny.
All right. Well, I do have some movie memorabilia. And I'm going to start off with up here. A helmet and oxygen mask, 1 of 1, Top Gun Tom Cruise model Maverick. Movie prop vintage. This is not screen used. This is a prop for $2,800 with free shipping.
Oh, if it's free shipping, sign me up. Yeah. That's cheap. Yeah. Now, if you're a Top Gun fan, it would probably be something you'd want to have on your mantle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah, it's really cool looking.
I bought worse.
Yeah. You can also get a Top Gun laser disc, brand new, factory sealed. It was first released in 1987, very rare, for $7,500. This has $20 free shipping, so I'd pass on that. I'd pass. Yeah,
pass. $20.
Then the last item I have it is a Val Kilmer Iceman screen used hero movie costume from Top Gun. $200,000 with free shipping.
Sign me up. Sign me up. Free shipping. Free shipping. That's gonna be our go-to. Anytime we do a podcast, if it's free shipping, sign me up. Let's do it. Let's do it. Sign me up.
It's hard to find screen use props and stuff like this, and especially for a movie like Top Gun, having Val Kilmer.
30 plus years ago, too.
Yeah, Val Kilmer's flight suit. You could find him somewhere and have that signed and authenticated. Man, that would triple that price right there.
Oh, easily. $500,000 out the door.
Yeah.
Autographed by Val Kilmer, yeah.
That is all I have for movie memorabilia. How about some related reels?
Yeah. So I mean, there are tons of actors, and we mentioned this before.
Yeah.
There are tons of A+ actors. I kind of went with some actors that not popular. I mean, we did talk about Val Kilmer in a previous episode that we've done. So I did go with Tom Cruise because there are some movies out there that Tom Cruise have done that people know about, but they always talk about the same exact ones.
Yeah.
I do like the Mission Impossibles.
Okay.
Almost all the Mission Impossibles are pretty good. So if you haven't checked those out, which
I
I'm
think
sure
I
you
like the
have.
first two, maybe three. After that, I
Rogue Nation's pretty good. That's one of the latest ones. And there is another one actually coming out soon, I think. I think it's soon. Edge of Tomorrow, we mentioned that I think before. But Edge of Tomorrow is a very, very good movie. It's like a futuristic sci-fi Groundhog Day.
Yeah, basically.
easy way to explain it. Valkyrie, which was about Berlin. Valkyrie was a great movie. You've got to watch Valkyrie. Days of Thunder.
I was hoping you were going to
Yeah.
bring that up. Actually, Top Gun and Days of Thunder are probably my two favorite Tom Cruise.
Yeah, and I like NASCAR, and even if you don't like NASCAR, which the Bearded Geek doesn't really like NASCAR that much. But you can sit there and watch Days of Thunder, and you can really get interested in it and enjoy the movie just for what it is: the racing, the crashing, just a man's movie, just like Top Gun is.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. And then one of the not the best Tom Cruise movie, but I went with Eyes Wide Shut. So if you've ever seen Eyes Wide Shut, oh man, those are a lot of boob bumps. Yeah, that's a lot of boob bump movies. Love the boob bumps. All right, I went with Tim Robbins. Tim Robbins is another actor. Doesn't have a huge role in it. Well, I guess kind of in the second part. After Goose dies, Tim Robbins kind of steps in. Bull Durham was another great 80s movie he was in. The Hudsucker Proxy. A lot of people haven't really watched the Hudsucker Proxy, but that's also a great movie. Howard the Duck. We've mentioned that. We mentioned that in the past.
Yep.
I think we've mentioned every actor or actress that's been in Howard the Duck. I always got to mention that movie. I love Howard the Duck, guys. You got to watch the movie. And then one of his best movies that everybody really knows him for is Shawshank Redemption. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if you were going somewhere else with that.
No.
You're like, you didn't mention this. I'm like, no, Shawshank Redemption's.
I'm trying to put the face to the name because I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names and stuff. Is that the black guy? Is that the black guy who takes Goose's place? No.
No. He, what was the name? What was the name? I can't remember his call name. Okay. No, the black guy that was in
Merlin.
Yes,
okay.
I
got you.
Yeah, that guy is in like Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, he's also in Die Hard, right? He's the tech guy.
In Die Hard. Yeah, he's in Die Hard.
Little extra movie related rules for you.
Yeah, and I was gonna go with him too, and I'm like, really? Everybody knows him from his Walker, Texas Ranger, and Die Hard. That's really the two biggest ones that I know him from. And the last guy I went with was Tom Skerritt. Tom Skerritt, one of those major actors from the 80s and 90s. One of the ones I liked him in was Poltergeist 3. If anybody you guys like horror movies. The Heist with Pierce Brosnan. The Heist was a great movie. A lot of twists at the end and throughout the movie, which I thought was pretty good. And then one of my favorite movies that he's done is Still Magnolias. You got to do Still Magnolias. Yeah. Still Magnolias is another A+ actors and actresses in their prime. They all got together and made that movie. So that's definitely a great movie to watch, Still Magnolias. But that's all I got. I did those three guys.
All right. Well, as we come to a close, man, make sure you do all the YouTuber things. Give us a good old thumbing. Hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell us what you thought of Top Gun. There is a new, if at the time this comes out, I believe Maverick may be out, which is the sequel. So go check that out. Yeah, I definitely want to go see that. So I do believe that does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. For Mikey the Freak, I am the Bearded Geek saying, keep it retro, everybody.
Peace.